There's no denying what happened.
No.
I spoke with one of the supporters, aka him. I actually showed him the evidence.
Yeah.
He says, "Oh yeah, it's probably all fake." That was it. That's all I can say. It's all fake.
It's all fake. It's all fake. No, just show us the receipts then, dude.
And welcome back to the Real News Roundup. I'm your host, Ben. Joining me to the right of your screen is Clifton French. He's the editor and the founder of Real News Michiana. How's it going, Clifton?
Hey, it's going fantastic, Ben. Been an exciting week. How are you?
It has. It has. So before we get into this, let's please like and subscribe to this channel. Go down to the link below, okay, and go to Real News Michiana, and please subscribe. Be a subscriber to that channel. Yeah, that's how we keep the lights on. That's how we keep the real news coming straight to you.
Yeah, I can't tell you how imperative it is. And by the way, we're growing substantially. We are growing. The plan is to expand into other markets. The plan is to hire people. We cannot do that without subscriptions. Advertisers are scared right now to advertise for the most part because they get calls from the wild left. It's the same 2 or 3 people, but they get calls and they're scared. No reason to be scared because you're going to have 100,000 people seeing your advertisement every single month. So if you want to support us, if you want to advertise as well, please do if you're a business owner. But just everyday Joe, subscribe. Nobody's going to know who you are. It's just a subscription. And all this stuff comes right into your mailbox every single day. There's additional content that you're able to see. It's worth every penny of the 30 cents a day that you get to support Real News.
Well said. Get into things. We have news on America's Sheriff. America's Sheriff. I don't know what his pronouns are. Are they she, her, was? So America's Sheriff. Sheriff Redmond. This guy is just, I tell you what, he is the standard that all sheriffs look to. They want to be like Sheriff Redmond. Sheriff Redmond, you're the best. He's got a very loyal band of followers who I think most of them are actually him. It's like when I talk to his, I've talked to a few of his followers on his page, I get to the point where it's like watching a Scooby-Doo episode, right? Mm-hmm. At the very end, they take the mask off, they pull the hood off, and it's Sheriff Redmond defended himself on 9 different fake profiles because he basically follows himself. In my opinion, that's my theory.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I can't prove any.
Just my theory. I'm not saying that's fact, but I think he follows himself and defends himself because nobody else can. Yeah, nobody else will. Or
I can't believe that that the defense of him came out so rapidly, right? And also the response that he gave on what exactly happened because it was nonsensical, right? So if you haven't heard, Real News Michiana, I broke a story regarding misuse of DARE funds while Sheriff Redmond was in charge of the program. So Sheriff Redmond, well, he was Sergeant Redmond at the time. So from 1997 until 2012, Sheriff Redmond was in charge of DARE. Now, when I was working for ABC 57, I had worked on the story. It was ready to go. I was putting together a story and it got shelved by the powers that be, right? Like a lot of stories about Mayor Pete and all of that would get shelved as well. So anyway, what was going on was Sheriff Redmond was taking DARE money and putting it into a private account. That private account wasn't being monitored. It wasn't being watched by there's no documentation for this private account. In 2012, this was discovered by a man by the name of Bob Boytz. Now, Bob Boytz passed away in 2013, so it's kind of hard to question him. But Chief Bob Boytz at the time discovered this one way or another, discovered that that none of this money was going into a county account. He forced Redmond to switch over to a county account and demanded that he take all the money out of the private account or his personal accounts, private accounts, personal accounts, and put that money into this now county account that can be.
Clifton, I want to back up. I want to stop you right there. On what planet?
Yeah.
On what planet do we live on where a public employee, wasn't really a public official at the time, a public employee, a city employee, thinks it's okay to put public money from a program into their private accounts?
Yeah, exactly.
What planet do we live on? Like, how is that okay? I can't get over that part of the story.
I mean, we're talking.
I can't get over it. I'm sorry. He admitted to that part. I can't get over that.
This is going on for 13 to 15 years, right? And so the only account. So in 2018, I requested all of these records. There are no records prior to 2012, and the attorneys for the sheriff's department. And in 2018, told me, I have emails. The emails are in the story. It told me that he didn't keep any records and that no records exist of this money prior to 2012.
How much money are we talking about, Clifton?
Yeah.
I heard it's upwards of possibly $100,000.
Oh, yeah. So the amount of money, we don't know exactly. But if you look at, and by the way, so according to Sheriff's Office Legal, he was, or the St. Joseph County Police Department legal team, Redmond was told that to take all that money and to transfer it into this new account. There's no evidence that that money was ever transferred anyway. So there were like 6 or 7 deposits on the first day of the account, a bunch of them for like $100 that were listed as donations. There was one like $500 donation. Then there was like this reimbursement of it said a grant reimbursement for $2,000. They were all deposited on the first day, but nothing that says transfer, nothing that says that this money came from somewhere else, right? And so it was a grand total of like $4,600 on that first day. So this Clifton,
hold on. So I saw his response, right? His response basically was, "Trust me, bigot. I'm a Democrat."
Trust me. Like I have nothing to back up what I am saying, but trust me, right? Well, I'm also, I mean, that's the same thing. Like, what about trusting the other people who are saying things, right? Who don't really have any skin in the game. They were just telling the truth. And those are the stories and the statements that I got back in 2018, prior to when he was even prior to him taking office, right? So this is coming from an administration that has no skin in the game, that's just kind of telling the truth about what's going on. So anyway, he starts that account in 2012. By 2018, there's $48,000 in surplus money in this account. $48,000. That's $8,000 a year. If you extrapolate that out for the 13 years that he had this in accounts that are unaccounted for, that's $104,000. Now, I'm not saying that there's $104,000, but it looks like there should be somewhere around the amount of, between maybe $80,000 to $110,000 that's just gone. That's no account for it at all. He simply says, well, everything was spent on Dare stuff, but there's no receipts of where the money went, no receipts of money coming in, nothing, zero.
Sounds pretty trustworthy.
Well, I mean, and then he goes on the attacking me. Saying that I'm just lying and making dude, all I'm doing is looking at the documents and going after what your department said happened.
Clifton, you and I talked about this the other day. There's like this, there's this cycle, right? This pattern, this cycle of what people do when they're guilty.
Yeah.
Right. So it's called deny. They always deny it first.
It's
right?
deny,
defame,
deflect,
produce no evidence.
There's zero evidence. Yeah.
Zero evidence.
Yeah. It's the Bernardo Malone school of denial, right? You give zero evidence for any of your claims. All I do, receipts. And by the way, I'm also running a business, right? So every single document, every single thing is in that story. Subscribers can see it. That's how I'm going to make some money doing what I do. That's how you're going to keep real news going on, is if subscribers. So there has to be a reason for you to subscribe. If you're getting, obviously people will use it to get free information, right? Well, that's fine. And I'm going to give you the information. But if you want to see the documents, want to see all that evidence, it's right there. Subscribe, 30 cents. Boom, 30 cents for that story. And there you go.
All the receipts are there. I looked at it.
All the receipts are there. Yeah.
All the reasons, like, there's no denying what happened.
No.
I spoke with one of the supporters, aka him. I actually showed him the evidence.
Yeah.
He says, "Oh yeah, it's probably all fake." That was it. That's all I can say. It's all fake.
It's all fake. It's all fake. No, just show us the receipts then, dude. Provide it.
Here's my receipts. What do you got?
Yeah. Just provide what's going on. Now, and then he starts attacking Kevin McGowan. I mean, yeah, I know. I called Kevin McGowan for a comment. By the way, Sheriff Redmond was included in those emails in 2018. Sheriff Redmond gave no comment. Sheriff Redmond didn't say anything. He was spoken to about all of this stuff when I was requesting all of this information in 2018. He had nothing to say to me in 2018 about this. What's changed? What's going to change? He's not going to say anything to me today.
Oh no, he is saying something to you.
Yeah,
you're a lawyer.
Yeah, I'm a liar.
You're a blogger.
A blogger with Murrow's, APs, the whole game.
Right.
15 years of experience. The most qualified journalist in the entire market, if not the entire state of Indiana. But, blogger.
Yeah,
so
the PHM school board calls your stories internet rumors.
Internet rumors.
I'm gonna mention it at the next school board meeting.
By the way, we're about nearly. We went from nothing a year ago to about 15,000 followers now on social media, and continue to grow by the dozens every single day. It's people are catching on, and this has all been organic. That's what happens with the truth. That's what happens when you're providing actual information and being a real journalist. People pay attention.
Clifton, people aren't used to seeing journalists like you that provide the receipts. Every story I've read of yours is backed up with something. You can verify it. It's all verifiable.
Yeah.
So watch ABC 57. You watch CNN, MSNBC, CBS. All these fake news, fake outlets. They provide nothing. It's all hearsay.
Yeah.
It's all anonymous witness said this, but there's no receipts. And I think people appreciate the fact they can go to your website and they can actually see the receipts to go with the story, and there's no denying it. And if there is, let's hear it. Let's see what you got.
They just make it up. They just lie. Yeah, it's fake.
Casey Hendrickson replied to that little meme I posted the other day about the deny, deflect, defend, the whole thing. And he said what the people that you write stories about, it's the same reaction what people do in Project Veritas against people. It's the same thing.
It's the same exact thing.
Deny, defame, deflect, zero evidence. It's the exact same cycle. The people that are guilty do the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So if you want to act like you're guilty, do what Sheriff Redmond's doing.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, and by the way, I've had probably 24 tips since then of all kinds of crazy stuff about Sheriff Redmond come through.
The plot thickens.
Yeah. And so, this happens when typically, so I write a story about somebody or something, there's always an influx of tips regarding that issue or that person, right? That's pretty standard. You always have follow-ups and stuff like that. The amount of tips I got on this man are ridiculous. And so I can tell you, so today I ran a story on one of those tips. Now I've gone through, I've kind of vetted, I haven't vetted all of them, but I vetted a few of them. Two of them I've already pointed out as like, hey, I think this is a stretch. That's BS, right? But one of them I published today. This is a very rare occasion where the only thing I use is an anonymous source, but this source is accurate. His story was corroborated by other people independently. And he was there when all of this stuff happened. His stories match with other people at the time, independently spoken to, right? All of it clears up. By the way, if I find out somebody lied to me, right, in a story, that promise of anonymity is gone. If you lied to me and I publish something and I find out that you lied, or even if I don't publish something, but I find out that you lied to me, your name is now going out there. I am using your name in things. And I let every single person know who I talk to, who I promise any anonymity to, where I'm not going to use their name, that if you lied to me, your name is you are no longer anonymous. Your name is being put out there, right? So that's it. Like they have skin in the game still. Anyway, it turns out The whole reason that Redmond was put on Dare to begin with is because he's a freaking coward. He's a coward. Yeah, he was scared. He was scared. So he
scared of what? I mean, didn't he sign up to be a cop?
He signed up to be a cop. So I mean, we're talking weeks, a matter of weeks, maybe a couple of months that he was on patrol, right? As a patrolman, fresh rookie officer. He had been in the jail before, I believe. 1997, and Paul DeGooch out of South Bend PD, he gets killed in the line of duty in August of 97. Redmond's still a rookie officer, brand new. He's been on the road for weeks, right? That's it. He's been on the road for weeks, and he gets scared. So he goes into his administration, the chiefs, and he tells them that he's concerned about his safety. His wife is concerned about his safety. He doesn't feel comfortable on the street, and he wants to be doing something else, such as dare. So, once again, I mean, you and I were both in the military, right? Like, if somebody is not comfortable going out and you can't always promise them that, but you're going to try. You're going to be like, listen, if that's how you feel, like, we don't want this guy out there anyway. Let's find something else productive for you to do. Okay? So go to records, go to dare, whatever, and still, contribute to the mission of the police department, but you're not really a freaking police officer at that point, right?
You shouldn't be the sergeant major or the sheriff. I mean, good thing is a sheriff now, right? Like, good thing is in charge of the guys that are going out and doing that.
Now are going out, he doesn't know how to do the job. He has zero experience doing the job. Okay, not zero. He doesn't have extensive experience doing the job. He's never really been a cop. He's been a dare officer and a public information officer, and just kind of made appearances on TV, built a name for himself, and then got elected sheriff.
He goes to communist rallies, apparently.
That's it. I mean, I think he's the number I've heard is like 50 some odd. He's only made 50 some odd arrests in his 28-year career.
Awesome.
Dude,
I'm glad he's on the front lines.
Dude, what do you like? You don't know how to do the job. You don't know how to do the job. So that story got published today. I'm getting tips about some crazy stuff that I'm digging into. Obviously, more stories about Redmond are going to be coming out because I'm getting these, right?
By the way, I wonder how the DARE program has been working in South Bend anyways.
Oh, yeah, it's been fantastic. I haven't seen any
success, right?
Yeah.
Huge success.
Just an explosion of fentanyl and heroin overdoses. There needs to be an independent investigation that's done into it. The prosecutor needs to request a special prosecutor to look into this. I don't care if the statute of limitation has expired. That should not matter. Right now, we need to figure out what happened to all of this stuff. The community deserves to know if any crimes were committed, even if they can't be prosecuted, right? The community needs to know if crimes were committed, and they need to know who they're voting for and what he's doing with their money, period. Point blank. King Cotter, the St. Joseph County prosecuting attorney, needs to get a special prosecutor in to investigate all of this.
Well said, Clifton.
Yep.
Anything else you want to add?
No, that's it. Subscribe, man. Subscribe.
Please like and subscribe. Share. And even if you don't like what we said, even if you support Sheriff Redmond, even if you're Sheriff Redmond himself, comment below. Let us know. We want to hear from you.
And on top of that, like you won't find a reporter who supports the blue more than me. This has nothing to do with this is all corruption. I will report on the police. I will report on Republicans. I will report on Democrats. If what they're doing is corrupt, it's being reported on. I'm digging into it, and I'm bringing it to Michiana so you guys can see all of it.
Thanks, Clifton.
See you later.
Thanks. As always, stay informed, folks.